So, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you're going to be dealt with a lot of situations, a lot of decisions that you're going to have to make. And I want to record this because on my last video, I talked about maybe like some kind of controversial topic about me traveling a lot. And some people agreed, some people disagreed, depending on how you view it, right? But after recording it, and then just not relaxing. After recording it, and like just like getting back to work, a thought popped up in my head, and was like, well, what was the framework in my mind that made me like make this decision? Okay. And then I thought about it, and I said, well, it's really simple. As any entrepreneur should, any decision that they should make should be following the risk to reward ratio. Okay? Now, everyone's risk and everyone's reward will be different. But this equation, if you apply in your mind every time you have to make a decision, putting it into your own personal opinion and perspective, should make you make always the better decisions. Obviously, your decisions could be wrong. You're never right 100% of the time. But it can definitely guide you in the right direction. So now, for an example, let's take back the example of traveling, right? When I was offered a trip, let's say in December, I'm going to Hawaii. I'm gonna have a nice trip in Hawaii. Gonna go out and ball out with the boys, but meet up with members of my some member in my Discord. So we're gonna talk about business and connect and like think just whatever. It's gonna be a good trip. And I'm traveling with my friend in real life, who basically he's a step ahead. He's dropped out of school years ago actually, and right now he's seeing a lot of success in his own business model, and racking in like 15,000 a month profit, which is good. And I'm really grateful to have a friend like that, and to just travel with him and experience that, like just live the life like that. I think it's good. But you see, look at the thought process that went in my head. The risk to reward. So what's the risk? I spend a few $1,000s. Now, this few $1,000s, obviously I have such a imprinted mindset that like money is just money, and it's going to be easily made and lost. So like money is not that big of an issue to me anyways. But you lose money. Okay. But like, look, how much money do you have? Can you afford it? So like, whatever. So calculating that decision, like how much do I have? Can I afford it? How much will it take out of my bank account? How much, whatever. That's the risk. So losing money is the risk. But look at the reward. The reward is completely traveling the world, experience the world, experience working on a business and traveling, living the life that you've been wanting for years. Spending time and being alone with likely-minded men who are either who I'm working with together on Ecom, on my Discord, in my community, or just spending time with a friend who's making the money that you want next to take to the next level for yourself, and just like surrounding yourself with the people you want to be with right now. Risk reward. Now let's compare to, let's say, a night of clubbing, right? A night of clubbing is way cheaper. It's not going to be a few $1,000s. It'll probably be a few $100s. But the risk is you lose a few $100s. Okay, so that's the risk. But what's the reward? What experience are you gaining? Who are the people you're surrounding yourself with? Are you going to learn anything valuable? Are you going to experience anything new? Are you going to do anything truly meaningful? That's the reward, right? just get a few drinks, probably get a bit drunk, spend time with the people that you probably don't want to be with. Those people at the clubs are probably not in this. They don't have the same mindset like you. They don't have the same visions and goals, which is fine, but those are not the people you want to surround yourself with. So even though it's cheaper, the reward doesn't outweigh the risk. Where the trip, the reward does outweigh the risk. You see? So now that for anything in your decision for your business, how much should you spend on ads? Risk to reward ratio. Should you drop out of school? Risk to reward ratio. Should you quit your job? Risk to reward ratio. I dropped out of school because I saw that and again, I have certain ideas and mindsets of like drop out of school is not a risk, but let's say drop out of school risk. It's a risk, okay? You drop out of school, you're not secured a nice salary. Whoop-de-doo. All right, risk. But what's the reward? For me, though, maybe the risk for someone dropping out of school is they drop out of school, they don't get their salary. Okay, but what's the reward? Well, they don't have a strong mindset to pursue any business at all, any discipline, any drive. So they dropped out of school, maybe go work at McDonald's, but then when they're done at their job, I'm not saying working at McDonald's is bad, but like they work at McDonald's, and when they come back, they probably smoke weed or play video games, jerk off or watch porn or do anything, go to parties. Risk to reward. So now the risk does outweigh the reward, because the reward you're getting fuck all. The reward you're getting worse. Where the risk here was you want to secure a nice job so you can get a salary, get some money in, and maybe support a family one day, right? But for me, it was risk. The way I saw it was risk, get a decent, get a shitty salary, yearly, work for someone else, work at a corporation or a job, barely scrape some money to live the way you want to live, to support the family you want to support. You're not free to travel. You're not free to do anything you want. You have to wake up at this time, go to this certain place to do this certain job, and you're forced to do any of this that you don't want to do. That's my risk. Or my reward. Become an ultra successful, inspirational entrepreneur who's generated millions and millions and millions of dollars online, who's helped thousands and thousands of people do the same, who is free to do whatever he wants, who's able to work on his passion, to work on what he wants to do, to be able to generate so much money that he's able to provide and live the life that he wants to live, to provide for a future family, to live an extraordinary life, to generate a crazy story at the end of his deathbed. Risk to reward. What is it? And now I hate the idea of, okay, but like the reward might outweigh the risk, but who says you're going to get the reward? Well, already if you have that mindset, you're failing. Okay? Because I had this risk to reward ratio calculation in my head long time ago when I was still in school, but I didn't believe in the reward, so therefore I didn't take the risk. Once you believe in the reward, once you know that reward's going to come unless you work at it, right? Then now the reward starts outweighing it, because you know that this reward is going to happen if you take the risk, right? But if you think that you're going to take the risk without getting the reward, obviously just don't take the risk, right? It's like basically jumping out a plane and not knowing if the parachute's going to pop up, right? you wouldn't jump off the plane. But all these people that skydive, right? The risk for them is jumping off the plane, but they jump because they know that they know for a fact that the parachute's gonna deploy. If not, they have the backup parachute, whatever it is. But they're gonna live. But if they don't think they're gonna live, if they don't think that all parachutes are gonna fail and they're gonna die, they won't even jump. You see? So in order for you to calculate properly this risk to reward ratio, what you're going to have to do is believe that if you take this risk, you're going to get the reward, because you're missing half the calculation. You're missing half the formula if you don't believe the reward is going to come. You just think risk. So that's basically knowing that the parachute's not going to deploy and you're going to die, but you still jump. Now you're just suicidal, right? So in order to calculate this risk to reward ratio to help you make decisions in your life or in your business, you have to include both risk and reward and believe the risk is going to come if you don't take the reward, or the reward's going to come if you don't take the risk. It's a bit like a little tongue twister, but in reality, that's literally every decision I make. Every decision I make is through that formula. It all sounds like it takes discipline sometimes. It always takes discipline. But like same thing like eating. Risk to reward. I become unhealthier. I become more fat. I become more lazy. I become overweight. I become unattractive. Whatever it is. By eating, that extra piece of cake. Whatever it is, right? But if I eat the extra piece of cake, I get like 5 minutes of pleasure. 5 minutes of pleasure or lifelong health. Now, that's a very extreme example, but I just want to bring this example because like it correlates and it could be directly applied to any decision, like even the tiniest decisions in your life. And once you calculate this easy risk to reward ratio, I think you'll start making the better decisions in your life and start finally improving. Because at the end of the day, a lot of good decisions come with risk, okay? But if you don't believe the reward's going to come, you won't take the risk. So a lot of people don't take the risk because they believe that the reward's not going to come. But if you just look at it as a math equation, that it is a fundamental fact that if I take this risk and I take it, I will get the reward. It's a formula. If I plug in X, I will get Y. Not if I plug in X, I'll get nothing. Or I'll plug in X, I get X. No. It's a simple formula. Once you start just thinking logically about it, you'll make better decisions. Thank you for watching. As always, please make sure to watch this video. So this video, again, is a little mindset playlist that I put it to myself. Really helped me out through my tough times. This one is my first sale, obviously one of my favorite experiences in my life so far. And this is when I made like $25,000 in a month on my winning product. The lessons I learned really, really helped a lot. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the top.